Welcome to How Can She Snap? This is a podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal, let's go.
Yeah, we got a special guest. Once again, we have a very, very prolific YouTube content creator. Not only is this content awesome, but it's also fucking hilarious. You have to check it out. It's so funny. And also the hottest, funniest Twitter takes ever. We have NERFHERDER, the co-host of the former late great Snappening show. What's up, my man? How are you?
What's up, dude? Yeah, former. That's unfortunate. But yeah, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people where they can find you? I'm going to link everything too, but let them know.
Just YouTube. I don't do Twitch or anything. It's just YouTube, NERFHERDER MS, and then same thing on Twitter.
Yeah. In this episode, we're going to talk about the new cards, SKAAR and CAIERA. First time two cards came out. Yeah. We're going to go over the supposed patch change leaks we can maybe expect in a couple days from now. And then we got a little special deck guessing planned for everyone. So let's get it. All right, man. No big deal. NERFHERDER, how you guys doing, man? How you guys doing?
How you doing, NERFHERDER?
I'm good. I'm fine. Just playing some games. I woke up a little late today. Had a weird past couple of days, but we're good. We're good.
We're back.
I'm glad.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Now, I wanted to say my condolences on the Snappening. Dude, I love that fucking show. It was so good. It made me cry laughing more than I cared to admit. I'm upset it didn't work out. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, I think Mike had some, I'll just say, Mike's a good dude. He's a great dude. But he had some very lofty goals for it.
Yeah.
And it was just, he had never done YouTube before. He's used to doing like big time TV stuff. So
yeah,
when he realized what kind of a grind YouTube was and that you can't just put out like one high quality thing a month, I think he was like, you know what, this is not worth it. And just,
I was going to say the quality on those videos were insane. Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Awesome.
He put so much work into that.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're easily. And I've told him this so many times. Like the best produced content that I've seen on Snap, in my opinion. Yeah. So good. It's unfortunate that like YouTube doesn't respect that, but
yeah, it's quantity over quality.
Yeah, it is what it is. And I gotta say too, I want to tell you on the record here, your Twitter is I laugh so much as well too.
Thanks.
Some of your takes are just hilarious. Like I think there was one time, like maybe a month or two ago, where like I think Hoagland said something. He's like, I think it was the whole cookie debacle with Dara, and then Hoagland was like, I don't know, maybe I'm old, but like I don't like this or whatever when people cover their screen, and you're like, yes, you are old, but I also don't like it. Like just shit like that. It's just fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, I have to censor myself sometimes. Because, if people don't get my sense of humor unless I'm, like, friends with them, I can be sort of abrasive sometimes or rude, but I'm not actually being rude.
Yeah. No, I get it, too, just because me and my friends, we like, abuse each other. That's, like, our form of love. Like, our entire lives, we just talk shit to each other nonstop. So, like, it's, like, my second language is just talking shit. So, it's, like, I never mean anything bad by it, but I think it's just hilarious.
Yeah, actually, in fact, if I'm more mean to you, it probably means I like you more than other people.
Yeah. You care enough to think of the joke. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Marvel Snap. New card. Let's talk about SKAAR here. I haven't pulled up on the screen. What do you think of this card? What's your first take for like a season pass kind of card?
Talking to me or no big deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go first, Herder, because I haven't played too much. I was training for my my show match, so I only been playing just old Black Knight list. So what do you think
getting sweaty, practicing. All right. SKAAR's weird, dude. It's like theoretically. All right, so I made a tweet yesterday, I think, where it feels weird. It's like you discount it once and it's a 4/11. Isn't a 4/11 like one of the best cards in the game, basically? Yeah. Even if it's vanilla and doesn't do anything. But when you play with it, it doesn't feel like amazing or broken or busted or anything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird card. It feels good and decent, but not amazing. But technically, mathematically, according to its stats, it should be one of the best cards in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, like, Like I don't go into like when I'm playing with this card, I don't go into it saying, oh, I got to get it to a 2 or a 0 or something. Like that's just not unrealistic. But like 411's insane. Like it's a really good stat line.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like I think it's harder than I thought it would be to make it a 411. I guess maybe it's not like that hard, but it's like, when do you play it? Because you kind of want to do other stuff when it's a 4. It's like, maybe a last turn with like a 2 drop. But like everyone's playing such big shit right now. It's like, do you want to play a 6/11 and a Shadow King? Like Shadow King, unless you're gonna catch their blob, like
the King's not putting in too much work these days. Yeah, like he used to. I mean, he's still a sick card. But yeah, I kind of got the similar impression. If I get create my own take, so I'm not piggybacking off you guys. I think CAIERA's sick. CAIERA seems sick.
Sure,
like,
yeah,
really good. This card feels like he's solid in the decks that he belongs in. So like a big Thanos, like Blob Thanos or something like that. Some people are putting them in their Black Knight list, like where he makes sense. But I don't think you could force him into too much. Is what I'm kind of getting out of it. Like if you can't reliably get the 10s on the board, you're probably better off just cutting him, honestly.
Yeah, I quickly realized that trying to make him cost 2 or 0s, like, if you get lucky, it's nice, but making a deck revolving around that is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be some cooks now with the Sauron bundle out. People are going to bring out Sauron lists and just do, like, Typhoid and Red Skull and stuff like that.
Like a Shuri-less Sauron deck?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I tried it. It was a little awkward. Jeff Hoogland actually put out, I think, my favorite list for it. It was like Annihilus, Sentry, Atuma, Typhoid with Enchantress, basically, and Zabu.
Oh, nice. He's always got good fun decks. He's got fun decks. He put out like the Human Torch Bounce the other day. It was yesterday or something, and I played around with that. That was hilarious. That was a hilariously fun deck. But yeah, he's always got fun stuff. But yeah, I think this card will probably. I think it's pretty good now. Like it's not like overpowered or anything in my opinion, but like I feel like it'll get better as time goes on because there'll be more cards that are more than 10 power. That there'll be more ways to cheat out. Like the one even next month, the Thanos one that's a 4/10 can't be destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, like just stuff like that's going to come out. That it'll make him easier to be a 411. So I think it's good for a season pass card. I enjoy him.
Yeah. It's definitely season pass cards have like a different bar in my opinion. Or it's
me too.
Yeah. It's good for a season pass card for sure. But yeah, I think you're right. Like in the future, I think it's going to be adopted more as just like a generically decent card you can put in quite a few decks, but it's not going to be blowing anyone's mind.
Yeah, and to your point that, it's a 411, but like, Miss Marvel's a 415, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, like how good is the 411 really, Like the Sentry is a 410, but like it might be a 420, like, if you draw that Annihilus, right? So
yeah.
It's like, who knows, I mean, you ideally want it to be a 211, right? Then it's busted as a 211. So
yeah, for sure. I personally don't like cards like Sentry and Annihilus. I know you guys are fans, but I don't like cards where it's like, well, if I don't draw this other card, it's kind of a shit card.
Yeah.
I don't like stuff like that.
I live for the high roll.
Yeah,
I truly don't mind that at all. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about CAIERA. I'll pull her up too. No big deal. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think she unlocks a lot. Like, I think you could a lot of decks you could play now that you could not play before. The high evo stuff's crazy. I mean, Sunspots never felt better. I think indirect nerf to Chadiator. Is not nobody's talking about that. Basically 50% chance if they got their CAIERA out, like it's just gonna be protected. Because whoever's running the deck, they're gonna have a bunch of 1s and 6s, and the Chad's not killing anymore. And then at least before you could pull out something big with the Chad, and whatever, I'll just Shang-Chi it later. It's fine. You're not Shang-Chi and shit with CAIERA now. Like you got that condom, that blue, the protection on everything, and Stanky King called it that. I'll give him a props for that, but I gotta go with that. But yeah, it seems sick. I mean, finally, like I've been saying it for a while. I think Killmonger is like a big problem in Snap. I know a lot of people love the card, but I think this solves the Killmonger problem entirely. If you really think Killmonger's an issue, you got a hard counter now, and I think that's awesome because you just couldn't play Zoo. Like you straight up couldn't play Zoo because of Killmonger's existence. So I don't know, but it seems like a sick card to me.
Yeah, for sure. Including like also if you play armor in a deck, it's like you don't have to worry about shit anymore. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's a perfect example of like, it's not amazing, but like technically, anyways, sorry, I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's not like blowing anyone's mind, but it's just a card where it's just like, it's just always going to be decent. It's never not good in pretty much any deck you want to play it in.
Yeah, it's not like overpowered meta warping, like Loki comes out and it's like, oh, what the fuck are we doing here? And everyone's pissed off. Yeah. It's like, all right, it's a nice tech card. It's statted well. It didn't come out at a 2-drop, you know, like if they had this at a 2-drop, like, you know, I know they're going away from that, which I'm a fan of. You know, the global effects seem to be 3 cost, and then the lane effects seem to be 2, roughly, except for Cosmo, I guess. But yeah, like it's nice. So it's like, you know, you have to actually, you know, you make a sacrifice of mana to play this card, but the payoff is pretty good. So I like it. It's fun. It's fun to not worry about your 1-drops, you know, and then you get heroes on the ladder, which I've seen just enchanting this and then ruining your fun. But then, you know, those people exist.
Usually win those games anyway, right? That's like they're gonna do Rogue Shang-Chi or Rogue Shadow King on your Ebony Blade, and it's like you're probably just winning the game if they're doing that.
Yeah,
right?
if they're putting that much effort into killing like 1 or 2 of your cards, like fuck out of here, I still win. There's 2 other lanes.
It's the you know the one. I think the 1-drop is good enough. Like to have your 6-drops protected too is pretty wild, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like just throw down the big boys and be like, good luck, guys.
Yeah, blob. Oh yeah.
Like I'm excited to, you know, again with the high rolls, I'm excited to do some lockjaw shenanigans with her. Just throw in a lockjaw and just roll, baby.
Yeah, she's awesome with lockjaw. And to NERFHERDER's point, that's a good point because it's like she's not a deck, right? You're like she's not Loki or Elsa, right? Where they're just a deck and they just OP deck. And then it's like, but also she's not like a big boss monster like Alioth or something either. So she's not like blowing you away with you know what she's doing, but yeah, just for the deck she belongs in. She feels like fantastic to me. I think this card's like really good and worth picking up for sure.
Yeah, now that you say that, Big Deal, is like it's not Loki. It's also not Alioth. It's not a deck in itself, but it's still like probably one of the best cards in the game now.
Yeah. Just it's like a Mobius type card, you know. It's just kind of
it's the perfect level of like this is almost too good, but no one can ever complain about it.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like when cards are good, then people don't complain about it. They aren't like oppressive good, you know? They're like, oh, everyone kind of has fun. Like, Caieera's on the board. If someone else plays CAIERA, like, I'm not pissed off. I'm not like, oh, you know? Yeah. Not that I don't really get pissed off that much. Like, Alioth never bugged me either. But
I know what you mean. Like, Dr. Doom's like that, right? Where he's just always good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, No one's ever like, fucking Dr. Doom, stupid fucking card.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's still amazing.
Yeah. I mean, like Miss Marvel's starting to be like the new bad guy, right? Where like it's like she's a 415, and people are like, "Come on, man!" Like it's starting to get oppressive. The people are starting to be like, "All right, well, they nerfed Professor X, they nerfed all this." Like I think people always got to be mad about something. Seems like Miss Marvel seems to be the one right now, which I mean, a 415 is pretty damn good. So
she's cracked, dude. I mean, we've said that from the beginning. Like this card is cracked. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I was a little down on her at first, to be honest. I'll say that. At first, I was like, you know, maybe it's a little easy to tell. Like, I was like, you know, and I thought, like, because there was a lot of Rogue when she first came out. I'm like, you know, they'll probably, but, you know, I was wrong. Hey, I'm saying I was wrong. All right. I'm not going to go and say I knew right away. You know, I was an idiot. So.
I've had some bad takes too, but Miss Marvel I was right on at least. But I mean I was wrong about Gladiator for sure. But the Marvel I remember when we announced her and she was first coming out, I was like, is this like the best card in the game? Like I don't know, like a 415. Like what are we doing? Like, but then she came out. I'm like, all right, Loki and Alioth, like they're still in the game, but she's up there. You know, she was like top 5 when she came out.
Yeah. What are you playing right now? What kind of decks are you playing, NERFHERDER, right now?
For me, I'm playing. Oh, hold on a second. Now I gotta pull up my decks.
No, go for it, man.
So I've been basically trying SKAAR and a bunch of different stuff. My favorite thing right now is like a pet deck of mine I posted on Twitter. It's called Off Reveal, basically. And every time a card with a bad downside comes out, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try this and this. It's basically a 0 Cosmo, essentially Sauron decks, but on reveal instead of ongoing.
That's great.
It's a Sentry, Tuma, Doggos, SKAAR, Gladiator, Maximus, Ebony Maw, Invisible Woman. You get the point.
Oh, that's great. How's it performing?
That's pretty good. I think it's somewhere 60-some% now. I don't know. It's like
That's great.
30 and 15 or something like that. Let me see.
Is that what you're using to climb?
Yeah, that's what I hit Infinite with yesterday.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, 26 and 9. Pretty good.
Oh, sick.
Oh, it's really good, yeah. That's so I see what you mean by you don't like Annihilus. So Annihilus not in that deck?
No.
Oh, that's great. I love that. That's spicy. It's like, we're going Annihilus, we're going Doggos, baby.
Yeah. It's just there's
hand
cards
is
that are
down.
hard to use. Just throw them all in one deck.
Yeah.
Doggos fun. I mean, this is one of the lists I used to grind up to infinite. I felt like how was your climb? I felt like the 90s were a little bit more difficult than normal for me. Anyway,
Me, it was hard between 73 and 90, and when I hit 90, I got Infinite in like, I don't know, 5 games.
Oh wow! I wish mine was like up and down in the 90s. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I used mainly this Hell Enjoyers Tribunal list, or this Onslaught Tribunal list, mainly because like if you get a bot, like you're guaranteed 8 cubes.
Yeah.
Because they have no idea what you're doing. And then you just like slam them with like 500 power in each lane at the end of the game, and they're like, oh okay. So it was kind of fun to do that for a little bit and beat up on the bots. I didn't see too many bots, maybe like one every 10, 15 games. Like
Same, yeah.
A lot less than normal. Obviously I used the Black Knight, Zunes' Black Knight list.
That's all I've been playing the last couple days anyway. In Conquest only. I haven't really played Ladder. But
Yeah, Black Knight decks are my second favorite thing. That's this variation of this deck is the other deck I've been playing most.
Yeah, because I just got the Black Knight last week when it came out because I never had him. I was having so much fun last week playing the Black Knight. It's one of the most fun decks that I played. It wasn't mainly this one. It was mainly Desmond's version. This one with the Dracula.
The Leech one, yeah.
Yeah.
The Leech and the Dracula high roll at the end, obviously.
And we got SKAAR. Hey, shout out SKAAR. There we go. You know.
Yeah, he just had Red Skull, and I think someone on Twitter switched Red Skull for SKAAR. I'm like, you know what? I'll get some boosters for the season pass card and go. You know, and it's another card to play on the end because usually, you know, if you Ghost Rider, then you can usually have a 10 drop, a 10 power card, and so
I don't
SKAAR's 4
particularly like
man.
Red Skull in these decks.
Yeah, so SKAAR fit in quite nicely. So this one was fun. But yeah, what else? Darkhawk Leech is still good. You know, leeching the blob. I saw a good amount of Thanos too, climbing up the ladder.
Yeah, same.
Leech is just, you know, you love to hate him.
Yeah, this deck's like the embodiment of like boring but good. It's like,
Yeah,
I guess I'll play this stupid deck. I'm losing.
Actually, we were just talking about this before you came on. No big deal is like, you know, if I wanted to get really sweaty and not have a ton of fun, this is the kind of deck that I would play. Yeah. It's like, because it's just
like, if I
good.
had to play someone for money, like, you know what, just give me a Darkhawk, like, you know, whatever. Like, throw some rocks in your deck. Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
yeah, this is if I don't want to, if I get like, you know, tilted because my RNG just is in the toilet for like, you know, an hour. I'll be like, you know what, I'll just play the cards and that's it. This deck's good always.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like I said, this one I played yesterday for a bunch. Hoagland's Torch Bounce list. Man, this list is fun as hell. It's got the Hood, Forge, Ghost Spider, Human Torch, Iron Fist, Nico, Angela, Falcon, Cloak, Vulture, Beast, and CAIERA. So like the highest card's a 3-drop. But you just do some wild shit with this deck.
Yeah,
You
sure.
get you get a bunch of demons. CAIERA protects everyone. Vulture gets big. It's
big
crazy.
torch too.
Yeah,
I wonder if you'd play Hercules in this deck.
No one's gonna play Hercules.
No, not putting Hercules in any deck.
Card is trash.
But yeah, Human Torch doesn't die, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, here I had a potential use case for Hercules. I don't think it's gonna be good, but it was just one thing I thought of that I'm like, all right, maybe someone could do this. If you want to be a lockdown player, you can play Storm and then Hercules, and they can't move their Vision or Jeff into the lockdown lane.
Get out of here, dude. Play one card in the hopes that they might have Vision in their deck.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Still play the Jeff. You could play the Jeff, but you can't move it in. You know, like
Exactly. It's gonna be bad. I don't know. Maybe there'll be some fun stuff.
I love that. That's great.
I want to see some weird Heimdall stuff. I can't wait to see highlights on that. When just Heimdall shifts everything in, and then just pops it out.
Yeah,
It's
does
once
that,
per
that
turn,
would
right?
pop everything out the
Yeah.
lane, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
Is it max one? Isn't it like max one per turn, or no? Isn't there some clause on Hercules?
I think you can move one card, one card can only move in there once per turn, I think.
Yeah.
Like you can't have a card go moving around, bounce around like 5 times.
Oh yeah, this is the first time a card, so each individual card will get bumped.
Oh, okay, good. So Heimdall worked then. That's good.
Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
I can't see anything other than Heimdall not being what that card's used with. But we'll see. Or maybe the Storm. Storm and Heimdall. You could do both.
Yeah.
Just Storm left. Storm left every time.
I will eat a fucking shoe if Heimdall's good at all.
All right.
I mean Heimdall. I'm sorry, Hercules.
Hercules?
Yeah, Hercules.
We'll figure it out.
That's going to be hilarious. But yeah. Do you think Zoo's going to be good with CAIERA coming out? Because that was the thing. Like, people are like, oh, Zoo, you know? Even No Big Deal's like, I wonder if Zoo's going to be good. I think KM Best posted like a Thanos kind of Zoo-ish.
Feels pretty good. It's the only deck I've really played on ladder. I'm playing like Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Nebula, Nico, Martyr. Shout out Martyr. Shout out to Ninja. Shayna, CAIERA, Kazar, Iron Man, Blue Marvel, Onslaught. So I don't know. What I was thinking was like just it's Zoo, but if you need to go Iron Man Onslaught in a lane to like beat out a blob or something, you can. Like, so you can go tall in a lane. With just Iron Man gives you the option, right? But obviously Onslaught works great with Kazar and Blue Marvel as well. And then so I don't know, it feels pretty good, honestly. Like, it's a lot of power. Pretty consistent power too. Like, you're always swarming the board. You either get Squirrel Girl or Shayna, and you fill up all the lanes pretty easily. So I don't like Dazzler and all these like shitty cards, you know. Like, I think just try to put good cards in the Zoo deck, and it's probably pretty good, right?
Yeah, you're already playing Zoo. You can't afford to play fucking junk like Dazzler.
yeah. I can't afford to handicap myself. Some Dazzler BS, right? So
I know this is not my sort of jam, but
or Captain America would be good if he was good, right? But you know, can't play that card.
There's a Punisher buff. You can play him.
Yes.
Well, Punisher would counter me.
Let me guess, you're gonna be like, oh, I play Jean Grey too. It makes Punisher good.
Yeah.
No.
Prashant was playing this on stream today. He ended up doing pretty well. I think he was like winning like 60%. I think people just didn't expect it, but it did all right, this version.
Okay. I mean, I believe you. I'm not going to play this, but I believe you.
No. Yeah, if you want to be a filthy Zoo player and just put a bunch of 1-drops, I mean, sometimes it's fun, but...
It's pretty good. I mean, a lot like I think in KM Best version you're talking about, you get the ghost into like Valkyrie stuff, right? Like, I don't know, it's pretty interesting, right? You get that's the ongoing list, I guess, right? Yeah,
I'm not sold on Zoo personally because I just don't think it can put up enough stats to deal with all these fucking decks that just put up like 40 points in a lane.
Yeah, right. Like, even if everything goes well, you still have to beat like an Ebony Blade or whatever. My first instinct with always stuff like this is just, why not play it in Thanos?
Yeah.
So,
it's probably best in Thanos, right?
Yeah,
Thanos.
Yeah, that's what KM Best is doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think he went with like more of an ongoing package. I think he had Ghost and Spectrum in his as well.
Cool.
So that way he can actually get like the surprise buff at the end with Spectrum. I think he had Spectrum, but it was like an ongoing package. But yeah, Thanos is great. But yeah, you wanna talk about the patch changes?
Oh man,
the potential ones?
The potential patch changes, the leaks.
All right.
You got anything else to say about the meta? You guys want to talk about anything else?
Nah.
Yeah, season just started, so nothing crazy.
I haven't played too much at all, so I can't really speak on it, you know.
Yeah, it's all right. Let me see.
First week's always a little awkward too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bots don't count. This is the beat up on bots week.
There's not as much bots. You know, what are your thoughts on bots, NERFHERDER? Just
I think they're good how they are. Like
yeah.
So once every 10 games is fine. But also for new players. Yeah, you remember the game as a new player, you don't have a lot of cards. It's not fun to get stomped repeatedly, so getting a bot every now and then is all right. But I will say the bots that we play against, like in our positions, they're really, really dumb. Maybe if they made them a little bit better, it'd be cool. Yeah. But I don't have a problem with them in general. It's fine.
I kind of love them. Sometimes I just love like just beating up on a bot once in a while. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is great.
Yeah, once in a while is the key word there. If it was like every other game, it'd be a little lame.
Do you like to climb every season?
No, not in the slightest.
Yeah, I wonder, like, because some seasons I do, I'm like, oh, this grind I kind of forget. It's kind of cool. I think it's mainly because I'm playing bots. So I'm like, oh, it's kind of fun. And then I get to infinite. I'm like, all right, this is just better. Like,
yeah,
I kind of wish if you were infinite, you could just choose to like stay infinite the next season, you know, and just not go through the grind.
Yeah.
Like that would be great.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Whatever rank you finished, yeah, that's the rank you get.
Maybe they want you to grind the rewards every season. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but yeah, it would just, I don't know. I would like that more. But I do, or if not, then I would just personally just want to make it like so much easier. Just give me a bot every other game. Just let me get the infinite in like 20 minutes and that's it. You know, like fuck it.
No, I think it's fine. I think bots are just like, you know, as long as like it's okay. They just don't want long queue times, basically, right? It's already a fast game, so you know, maybe if the queue time gets up to a minute, you get a bot, right? But within a minute, you find somebody, you know, get a human, and then once you get to infinite, you don't get any bots, so it's pretty good. It used to be way worse when you just always got bots, right?
Yeah, back in the olden days, there's like all the time.
Yeah, that's bad. That was bad. But yeah, now that you just play only humans in Infinite, I think it's good. Mm-hmm. Sure. All right, let's dive into these potential leaked changes here. I put them on a Word doc because there's nothing official because they were taken off the Marvel Snap site post haste.
But they were on the Marvel Snap site, so that, you know, pretty legit, right?
Yeah, unless they change them, you know. I don't know if they can, but we'll see what happens. So Loki was a 4/5. Replace your hand with cards from your opponent's starting deck. Give them -1 cost. Now, potentially, he's going to be a 4/6 with an on-reveal. Transform your hand into cards from your opponent's starting deck and give them -1 cost. So, a little bit of a buff and a pretty big nerf to Loki, it looks like. So they gave him a point of power. And with the transform your hand, that means it's no longer going to work with the collector. And I don't think Quinjet either, to be honest. Because I think Spider-Ham's a transform, and I don't think the ham works with Quinjet.
That's the big question. Does it work with Quinjet or not, for sure?
I don't know for sure, though.
Well, no. I think it will, because there's still cards that didn't start in your deck.
I guess, yeah.
But the Spider-Ham thing, that's a good point. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, so let's talk about both scenarios then, because we don't know then, right? I mean, so for sure, I think the collector's not going to work with him, right?
It's not going to work with collector. That we know, right? I think that's
now. Do you think it's still going to be good card?
Well, so I don't think Loki was as bad as the problems everyone thought he was, especially after like the past couple of weeks. People who are still complaining about Loki is kind of confusing to me because for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, however long it's been, I've never played against a Loki deck and be like, oh, this is so stupid. This is bullshit. It just feels like a decent deck like any other deck. They get a good draw, they'll beat you. If they don't, they won't. But yeah. As far as this change goes, it's a little weird. I don't know. I guess making the collector not bigger is a nerf. But other than that, just don't run the collector, and it still feels like an okay deck.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I agree with you on the Loki thing, too. Like, and I'm not, you know, by no means am I at the top of the ladder. So, like, you know, I guess if you're really good, like, Lambie, and you're just, like, that's all you're playing, or, like, Tanjo at the top of the ladder, and you're just crushing with Loki all the time, then maybe it's oppressive up there. But, like, I don't know. I never thought it was too oppressive. I was never great with the deck myself. I never got more emote hate than when I played Loki in my entire life. Like, I think I picked it up like last week because I hadn't played it in like a week, and I'm like, oh, let me just play some Loki. And like 5 games in a row, people are just hating, constantly emote spamming. I'm like, what the hell? When people hate Loki that much, I'm like, you beat me, dude. Like, relax. Like, it's not that good. Like, it's okay.
That's the most annoying emote hate is when you lose. And someone's like gives you the thumbs up over and over. You're like, hey, fucking calm down.
I kind of love it. My favorite, I just laugh because the emo stuff I think is fucking hilarious. When they like, if like I snap and then like I realize like, you know, I don't get my draw or whatever, and then or like you know, something happens and I leave and they're like, oh snap. I just hit them with the Thanos snap emo back. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. If they snap, you have to Thanos. That's the rule. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I think Loki's still going to be pretty good because you're still playing your opponent's deck better than them for cheaper. So, and now it's a 6 power card. So I don't know, like the collector nerf hurts, but I mean, I think maybe just put Loki in like a deck that has like a good package. Maybe he goes in like the Darkhawk decks now, where it's like just a backup plan. Like you put Snow Guard instead of like another whatever.
I'm just thinking, the KM Best like version, where it's just like a Dino deck basically.
Double Dino,
yeah. It was like you just cut collector for I don't know whatever 2-drop you want, a tech card, who cares? And now it's just a double Dino deck that also sometimes does Loki Quinjet stuff.
Yeah. Put a Sentinel in there or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I still think it'll be pretty good. So, but I mean, I guess not like having the D-gen like steal your Loki, steal your collector. Who steals everyone's Lokis on the mirror match? That was hilarious.
Yeah, for me, I'm like happy they hit Loki here. I've obviously been clamoring for a Loki hit. Like I don't know. I just think it's weird they hit every other card at the top and they just left Loki alone for so long. I thought that was kind of silly. Yeah. This guy was the best card in the game on release and never really nerfed him properly. Like increased his cost a little bit. Chavez like nerfed a lot of things and nerfed MODOK a lot too. So yeah, nerfed Loki like quite a bit. Getting rid of Chavez, I think it was a massive nerf of the Loki deck for sure. But nerfed a lot of other things too. And so I just like when they actually hit the problem card rather than kind of we're gonna nerf like the last patch is like let's nerf Wolf and Annihilus again and Loki's just sitting there like haha like I'm still here bitch like what's good. So I'm happy they hit it, but even like I'm happy they hit Loki and Marvel because they're clearly like crazy cards, but I don't know about the actual changes to these cards. Like this new Loki change, I think it's like Nerfer said, you're still just gonna play a Loki deck. Like I don't think it affects the deck too much. The collector stuff was kind of BS, but I didn't love it when they hit the collector last time, and this just feels like you're just hitting collector, right? If it hits collector and Quinjet, I think it's a huge nerf for sure.
And that initial collector nerf when they made it a 2-0, it's like, the fuck, dude? You just made collector a trash card, like it did nothing to the deck.
That was the funniest thing because it was like, okay, so now their collector is going to go from a 216 to a 214, and it's non-playable in any other deck other than Loki now. You're like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
That was the worst nerf whatever change they've ever made in the game.
That was horrible.
We're big time haters on that one for sure.
Other than the Soulstone nerf, I will die on that hill. Those motherfuckers.
Yeah. Same.
Well, hey, Thanos still kicking, still doing it.
Yeah, but still, they shouldn't have fucking nerfed the Soulstone.
Yeah, they still shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have done it with the Mind Stone. They shouldn't have done it with the Soulstone. Yeah, I'm a Thanos boy for life.
Me too.
Every change they've made since like the Quinjet change, I'm like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, the Quinjet one I respect, and then when they changed the Space Stone, I respect that one too. The Space Stone was fucking OP as hell. But yeah, all right. Loki probably still going to be a decent card. I guess we'll see. With the Quinjet shenanigans, but I think it's still going to be good.
I think it'll be pretty good still. Yeah, it's going to be like a pretty good deck still.
And maybe now they change it, people won't complain so much. So there we go.
Yeah.
There's that. And now there's Miss Marvel, was a 415, and it's still a 415. But now you have to have 2 cards per lane instead of 1. So I don't know. I think it's still going to be pretty good, personally. This kind of nerfs the Prof X kind of stuff. It nerfs Prof X and nerfs Galactus. You can't spam Galactus anymore, unfortunately, and get that 10 power.
We've reached the point where like a lot of people are just playing Echo in their deck now because they're just sick of playing against this card, and like the Echo's everywhere. Not just not just bringing this up from last night, but like she's all over the place. Like. You see people's decks; they're just all teching in Echo, and you just blind play at middle. You're not trying to stop any, onslaught, tribunal, nothing like this. It's just blind throw at middle. Now I don't have to deal with the 415. You could have your 410, and I'll have my Echo here, and we're gonna play Marvel Snap again. So I don't love this change, honestly. I think it doesn't do a whole lot. You can't there's gonna be some niche scenarios where. Okay, you just throw the Jeff last minute, or you move the Jeff to the right lane last minute to get an 8 power over there. Can't do that anymore. You can't go naked Prof X. It's a 6 power or whatever, which they already nerfed, by the way. Sure, you can't do that, but you could do Prof X and you could do a Jeff later, and it does the same thing. So it's still, I think they're missing what makes this card broken. That's the amount of power it puts out. The condition has never been that difficult to deal with, and this doesn't make it that much more difficult, in my opinion.
I don't have anything to add. That was fucking perfect.
Yeah. I think it's still going to be a good 415, and it's a little bit worse now, but just a little bit. It's still probably going to be in almost every deck,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of a deck where you're playing it and you're like, oh, like I don't have that second card. I just didn't draw the second card. I could get it shouldn't be hard to get 2 cards in each lane, right?
Yeah, unless you're playing Atuma and Namor. What are you doing? Yeah, this is not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's great. All right, Annihilus, they fucking nuked this guy. It was a 5/7. Now they make him a 5/5, so -2 power, which is fucking huge for a 5 cost. And they nerfed his ability too. So your cards with power below 0 switch sides and destroy those that can't. So before you could ship 0 cost cards over. Now you can't. They have to be below 0.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Why'd they add that extra little bit in? The 2 power I get, but the little like power below 0, I don't get it.
I don't know. Like the 2 power, I would have been fine. Like, you know, because him with Sentry is pretty ridiculous to ship over the -10. I understand that, but like the debris decks weren't that good, and the 0 power stuff wasn't like that good that they needed to do this. I don't think. Like I think just one or the other would have been enough. Both is a little bit like, come on.
Yeah.
Like I still think the Sentry, the Annihilus stuff's going to be good. Like.
Yeah, effectively the deck. I think they're still going to be good, but that's because like you said, you're just doing Hood Sentry stuff. The debris stuff is a meme anyway. It's not good. So it's why I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, like was debris like OP, right? Like no one was really playing debris with this stuff, right? Like I don't know.
And not many people are, using their Celine to get their 3 power cards, in the Nihilus range. But Dara, yesterday or the day before, I was playing like a clog list with a Nihilist, and actually that's a list that I took to invert from like 95 on. It was pretty good, but that was like debris and everything too, and that was so much fun. I'm like, I'm just gonna play this list and just be a clog jabroni while I can for the next 5 days. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like one of these would have been enough. Mainly the power probably is better for him, but I think in the patch notes they said like he was one of the strongest cards or whatever, and I don't know. I never found him to be too oppressive, but
yeah, it never felt like anytime they played a Nihilist against you with the sending over the void or whatever, it never felt like really awful or anything. But honestly, though, I think it's still going to be decent if you just do Hood, Sentry, and Nihilist stuff. Even if it is a 5/5, that's still a massive power swing. So I think it's still going to be playable if you really want to play it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the one little package was like Hood, Sentry, and Nihilist, right?
Yeah.
So the 5/5 addresses that package a little bit, like nerfs it a bit, which is good.
Tone it down a bit, yeah.
But like, come on, fuck around with the COG players. What the hell?
Yeah,
we're having fun out there with our debris. Let us
do that more. That's why it's like, it makes sense they hit these cards, right? But it's like, and they even said, I think in the notes, like their metrics on Annihilus were like ridiculous, I guess. Like the win rates on the card were insane. But there's no way that was like on debris Annihilus. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I just, I haven't, we have the top players on Twitter. I'm not seeing them post their debris decks. Like I watch the streams. Like, I'm not seeing debris decks up there. Like, let the junk people play their shitty junk deck and have fun. Like if the package is Hood, Sentry, and Nihilus, it's now okay. You change it. The package is still Hood, Sentry, and Nihilus. Nothing really changed. You take 2 power off. That makes sense. Go to 5/5 makes sense. If it's if the win rate's too out of control, take a couple power off. I mean, I'm all for that. But the part where you don't send over 0 is kind of depressing, to be honest.
Silly. I actually enjoyed playing against Annihilus decks. because when you see the hood or the sentry or whatever, it's like a race to fill up the right hand lane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy that counterplay of being like, well, I know you're gonna do this, but Professor X in the right hand lane, get wrecked.
Yeah.
Like it's just fun. I liked it.
Yeah. I like
That's why I never thought he was so oppressive, because it's so telegraphed, right? It's not like oh my god, this is like a random Galactus where you're like, damn it, you could just see it coming, and so it's like, yeah, you can play against it and just fill your shit in the right lane, and you're good to go.
Yeah, just stopping that void from coming over is like enough to just win the game. Even like, yeah. They really rely on that to put out a lot of power.
Yeah. All right, Dracula, kind of a nerf and a buff, kind of a weird change here. Now was a 4-0, now he's a 4-1. At the end of the game, discard a card from your hand to gain its power. So it kind of it keeps affliction and buffs now, I guess. So I guess if Dracula is a 4-1, if it gets afflicted or buffed, it's going to keep that stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you can't like put it in Jotunheim anymore and like get rid of the negative stuff, and it just eliminates it. It just, you guys know what I'm trying to say. I can't speak. I'm not a wordsmith.
Yeah, you're good. I don't know.
You're
this
saying,
is one of those
like,
things
if your
where it's
Dracula
like,
gets hit with a Celine, you keep the -3, basically, is what you're saying.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say, like an example of what you're trying to say. They play
Yeah. So the Celine buff. They realized Celine was a horrible card, so they're trying to get Dracula to buff Celine somehow.
Yeah.
This is a
Dracula's
weird
the
change,
counter
though.
Celine.
Is this good, bad? I don't know. I don't think we can really pontificate too much until it actually comes out and you play with it.
Yeah, it's really
I was gonna
weird.
ask if you had an opinion on a nerf herder. I don't really either. This seems like a kind of a nothing change to me. I don't understand why they did it, so I look forward to when they do the patch notes, read their paragraph, because I like the old Dracula. I thought he was good before. I kind of like this a little bit less, but it's like fine. It still does what it does, and I don't know. It's okay. Like they give him like 1 power to compensate for the fact that it doesn't lose, or that Celine does something to it. Like, I don't know. It's a little weird to me.
They have to have a reason, but I can't think of the reason at all.
Now you could forge Dracula. I mean, do you want to do that?
No.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Wakandan Embassy works. Like, but another one is, I wonder what happens on. No, I think Dracula would still go last. If you did like Invisible Woman, Shadow King, like, I don't know. I can't imagine they're doing patches to deal with Invisible Woman, Shadow King, but that's like end of the game is Invisible Woman, right? But Dracula's also, I think Dracula would go even after that, though.
It's whatever's played first, basically.
Oh, is it? So it would, yeah.
Yeah, weird change, but I don't know their reasoning, but we'll see.
It feels like a nerf. Feels like a slight nerf to me.
If anything, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Angel, finally, this card. My God, for like a year and a half now. So this card now, when one of your cards is destroyed, it's a 1/2. This flies out of your hand or deck to replace it. So it's a little bit better for deck thinning, but it's not like, I don't think it's still good.
Hear me out. Angel and Thanos Lockjaw Death, basically.
Yeah. Thanos.
That's what I'm going to do. You just put Angel in the 1-drop, Lockjaw in the 3, and then everything else is just Killmonger and a bunch of expensive stuff and death.
And then when you kill it, it just flies out?
Yeah.
And just like a better M'Baku, basically?
Yeah, exactly. When you if you've ever played like Killmonger, Death, Lockjaw stuff,
I love that. Yeah,
it's cool, but you always feel like sometimes you don't want to play the Killmonger because you're like, I'm getting rid of so much power here just to play like a slightly less costed Death. So having the power replaced is actually a big deal. That's why those decks usually run Doctor Doom, because you kind of have to replace that power somehow.
I actually like that. That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good take. Yeah, I don't think it'll find a home in destroy lists, to be honest with you. Those lists are so tight right now and so powerful. Like, you're not getting rid of like Nico or X-23, to put this in, and
for sure
in your Deadpool list, you're not. I don't see where this fits in like just standard destroy list personally.
Same. It's probably technically not correct to put that in a standard Deadpool deck, but I'm doing it. This is the first video I'm making.
Yes, yeah. No, 100%. I'm gonna fuck around with this card. It's gonna be fun, you know. Just an excuse to play this card again. It'll be good.
Yeah, I wonder what they could have done to make it like legit viable, right? Like, you know, I think this was definitely the change to make. I like this change a lot. The other ones above it, a little bit of head scratching, you know, to me anyway. But this is a great change to Angel. You know, it's good that he kind of does something now. The deck thinning part was really, really awesome before. But if you made Angel like start at the bottom, then like it's like almost more broken than old Chavez, right? So we kind of talked about that. So you just can't do that. It can't stay in your deck because it's just like maybe even better Chavez at that point. So and Chavez they nuked. So you know, other than like, do you make it a 1/3? Like, is that too crazy? I don't know. You know,
if it did like the hand and deck thing at a 1/3, I think that's a like super good card.
That's a good thing, right? Yeah. So I guess this is all they could really do with Angel, right?
Yeah.
So I've tried it in that deck NERFHERDER, the old one, with the Angel Thanos destroy. I tried to make it work. I couldn't quite get it to work, but maybe that.
I have a super old video with like Angel and M'Baku in the same deck with Killmonger.
Oh, you did M'Baku too. That's great.
Yeah, and it worked. When it worked, it was like you felt so big brain, but most of the time it didn't.
So, hey, maybe with this change, maybe M'Baku to be a 1/3 is not like, you know, out of the question. So this can go out of your hand and deck, and M'Baku is only if it's out of your deck. Maybe then it gets an extra point of power to compensate, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. Give M'Baku some love.
I'm excited to play around with Angel and mess around with him. I think it'll be fun. Quake. This is out of left field, but this seems like a wild change. So Quake before was a 2/3 on reveal. If this is at the middle location, swap the positions of each location, and it was random because I'm sure the 10 people listening to this podcast have never played Quake before. Now it's a 2/3 on reveal. Swap the positions of the other two locations.
Dogs love Quake.
Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. I'll just mute myself. You guys can talk about it if you want.
They miss the old Quake.
Dude, I don't have much to say about this card because whenever Quake is played, you know, because of District X or if somebody's memeing, I'm always just like, I don't want to think about this. I'm too big of a dummy. So the new Quake, I don't care how good it is. I'm not playing it because I just don't want to think of like just the location slipping around and people being like, oh, with Storm, it's really good. I'm just like, yeah, this is going to make my brain hurt too much. I don't want to do it. So
we can use it like, if you want to simplify it a bit, right? Use it as like just a random good card, tech card, and just use it like offensively, right? So you see they're playing somewhere and there's a Necrosha somewhere else, like you just play the Quake, right? Swap the -3 onto their shit. You know, it's easy, you know, so just give them that
you already went one
step. Try to make your own big brain stuff, right?
You already went one step too far with me. I'm like, you know what? No. Reality Stone's about as far as I go with location changing. I'm good.
I'm so excited to put this card in like as a tech card, like just for like the rickety bridge memes and stuff like that. They're all playing their cards.
There you go. Yeah,
you play it on the opposite one and switches like the lane that they're playing the most cards in. You can just switch the other ones. Just fuck them, make it rickety bridge. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious. I don't know.
Kind of good. I don't know. This seems like a pretty good card to me. I don't know. Maybe that's copium. That might just be copium. But
no, you guys are probably right. This is probably going to be decent. I'm just never going to play it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good card. I don't know. I was so wrong about Legion. I thought he was going to be trash, and he just was one of the best cards in the game. Probably still underplayed. I know. I think just the locations, being able to manipulate them is pretty wild. I'd be surprised if this stays at 2/3. I think it's going to be very, very strong.
No, I think it'll stay at 2/3. I don't think it'll be like broken good. I think it'll just be interesting, and you know, you could throw it in some decks, like, you know, it's just Cerebro 3, you know, throw it in there, easy peasy. This is a classic Cerebro 3 card, so I'm happy we got it back now. So like, is it decks like this, or you know, those decks where the people are just randomly playing Scarlet Witch now? You know, you could try out a Quake in that slot, see what happens.
For sure.
You know, like you said, kid, the Darkhawk deck has the Jeff there, but the Jeff's not really, like, no one's playing Prof X. Then, you know, why not a little Quake action? You know, let's go. You know?
Yeah,
Gives
it's
us
a
control
good
over the
Sarah
game.
Tech card too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, that deck needs more tech cards. So good.
Little flavor, right? You know, something different.
And then the last one, this one I was kind of confused with, but sure.
I hate this. I hate this one so
what?
much.
I love this one.
Kingpin. When a card, before it was 3/4. When a card moves here on turn 6, destroy it. Now he's a 2/3, which I love the stat line change. When an enemy card moves here, afflict it with -2 power. And as a caveat, or as an aside, I think within the notes too, they changed Fisk Tower to not destroy anymore. But like when they move, I think it loses 2 power or something.
I think it's -4 actually.
Oh, was it? I don't remember. We'll see. Like, it's, but this is weird, but I guess kind of cool because Kingpin was so shit before. So like they had to do something. This is something different. Affliction could be kind of cool.
Dude, I love this card. It's like, you just have a deck with Arrow, Polaris, Spider-Man, Magneto, Stegron. It's like a whole new control deck now. Well, of course, if you have Kingpin down. Otherwise, you're just playing a bad deck. But I think it's cool. I think this will actually be decent enough to make like a move location control style deck all right.
Okay, so I'm happy you got faith in the deck because you said all those things. I was thinking when I first read this, like, how am I gonna get? I'm gonna have to play Stegron in my deck. Like, how am I gonna get people to move their cards into my like Juggernaut and Stegron? You're still 50-50ing, right? So like Spider-Man's 50-50. And like, what are we doing? Make a card to counter move decks? Like, I don't know. Like, I thought old Kingpin was kind of rough, and I was hoping they would make him into something like, with Quake and like maybe not Angel. I don't know. We'll see about Angel, but Quake seemed like they made it into something that makes sense, right? This new Kingpin, I think it's gonna be hard to pull off. But if the deck you're describing becomes a legit deck, then I think that's fantastic. So I hope you're right, NERFHERDER, because
all right,
I guess I'm a little more cynical on this.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
You put Hercules in your deck.
No.
And you put Kingpin in the other lane. Those 50-50s are no longer 50-50s.
True. Yeah.
Those Juggernaut 50-50s, those Spider-Man 50-50s, they're not 50-50s anymore. They're getting -2 because Hercules will go.
I know you're half memeing, but you probably do play Hercules in that deck. That is like the one deck you're probably playing Hercules.
Because right, you have Kingpin in one lane, Hercules in the other lane, and then anything they play in the other lanes, they're getting moved there. No question.
Kingpin, Craven mid, and then Hercules left. That's the dream right there.
How about Storm, Professor X, and then all those move cards we talked about earlier?
Oh, there you go. Boom. Yeah.
Amazing.
Lock it down. Now it has to get Kingpin. And he paid tax, and it's lore accurate, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, okay, good. I'm glad you said that because I was a little down on this. I'm like, oh man, but it could be kind of cool actually. And then, just throw in a random abomination in your deck too. Oh wait, High Evo. You have to have High Evo too. That's too much cards then.
Yeah. But also listen, when you think about cards like changes like this, it's a 2/3 and then one card gets -2 power. That's a 2/5. That's how I like to think about most cards. Is this triggers once, it's a good card. It triggers twice, it's one of the best 2-drops.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope most of these changes kind of stick because they seem like a lot of fun.
For sure.
Most of them anyway.
And for anyone listening, if you are getting excited, because NERFHERDER did just put out like a pretty interesting like new deck type. Stegron's coming in series drops, baby. We got series drops coming up. I still haven't got the card, but I'm gonna be getting it for free. My monthly free card. I haven't clicked that thing in a while, but we'll be clicking it for Stegron, baby.
You still get those?
No, I don't, but I will once they do series drops now.
Yeah, right.
I'll have it for only Stegron now.
Yeah, I don't have any of those, unfortunately. I'm going to pick up Echo,
I don't know, wow, but
Echo, Lady Deathstrike, and Howard. If I don't get Howard in this caches, then those are going to be my 9,000 tokens spent. Finally, I get fuck around with Echo and, not be...
Stegron and Arrow do have, like, pretty nice stats, too. So, like you said, I guess you throw in a -2 on top of that. Do you clog your own lane too much? I don't know. Maybe put the Craven somewhere else and Magneto that. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, maybe just like a Craven and Kingpin in the same lane, and then you pretty much don't have to worry about that lane ever again, and just bop stuff around.
Yeah, just
Magneto's good too because people are still going to be playing Miss Marvel, and you're just going to -2 power on her at the end of the game, right?
Yeah.
Pull her out. All right, went over the changes. Now we're going to do something a little fun that NERFHERDER, you might this might be familiar to you. You recognize this from the Snappening.
All right.
It's we're going to do we're going to do a callback because I missed that show already. You guys used to do this with guests, is where we'd have an AI image generator. I'd type in a deck name, and then you have to guess what the deck is.
Okay.
So for people that are listening, Spotify is gonna have video and YouTube obviously is video, but if you never use an image generator, can be the best or most ridiculous thing in the entire world. It can look like, nothing makes sense. It looks worse than Picasso, or it can look like, an image created, sculpted from the gods. So we'll see with these image generators. The first ones are a little bit easier, and then we'll kind of go from there. So here, no big deals. Never hasn't seen these as well, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Here's the first one.
Elsa?
Elsa? The fuck?
It's a deck.
I don't know, man. I'm not good at these kind of games.
Okay, this is a deck. So
these are all decks in the game, like deck archetypes.
Oh, this is
and stuff
She-Not.
like that. Yes.
What is it? She-Not?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
It's a girl. It's a girl astronaut. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
So for the audio listeners, it's a relatively attractive lady here in an astronaut outfit. Kind of like, it's not like really in space, right? It's kind of like with a nice green screen in the back. But yeah, she's wearing an astronaut outfit.
You're gonna regret trying to explain the next few. So.
Hey, we got to do it for the audio listeners. Rock and roll. What if they're listening in the car?
All right. Here's another one. Another warm up, easier one.
Oh God, Black Knight.
yeah.
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 Just Black Knight. That's all. That's all.
All right,
Just Black Knight.
For the audio listeners, there's a knight standing, and there's the mountains in the back, and there's the clouds, and the waves are crashing onto the shore. And
I'm going to the next one.
Yeah, that's a fucking epic picture, actually.
That's a pretty
It looks
sick.
pretty sweet, right?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty sick. AI's gonna take over.
All right. Here's one that's a little bit more off kilter.
No, this is a nihilist.
Yeah, a nihilist. What kind of? It says nihilist, but a nihilist, a different archetype of a nihilist.
Oh, nihilist bounce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get him bouncing. There was no way to get the image generator to make him bounce or something. This is the best one. All right.
Wait, for the
yeah,
audio listeners?
Yeah. You do this one for the. You want me to do it again?
Yeah, you
Yes,
go ahead.
you have to.
All right. So there's like a transformer type of Gundam, big green dude. Like this guy's way more yoked than actual nihilist on the card, right? Like he's beefed up. He's a lot more wide than he is tall. In the real nihilist in our game is a little more lanky. So he's a big jacked, kind of like 5'2", but like really jacked nihilist jumping through the air. There's space rocks flying in the background, and there's an explosion in the background too, and he's jumping in the air. So that's how we know it's bounce.
Yeah, this dude just
Nailed
fucking Death Star to moon and bouncing out of there.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Next one's a bit of an easy generic one, but I was just
Miss Marvel.
Yep, that's it, Miss Marvel, because she's in every fucking deck. So just Miss Marvel, only Miss Marvel. It's her own archetype. She's in every deck. Every deck's a Miss Marvel deck.
I wasn't
right
even going to answer. I was just going to stare at you and be like, really? This is a
I swear my first impression was Captain Marvel. That was the first thing that went in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel. I'm like, wait a second.
I tried so many iterations, and this is the best that they could come up with Miss Marvel.
For the audio listeners, it's it's a lady that looks like Miss Marvel, but she's wearing those annoying librarian cat-shaped glasses.
Yeah.
She is. And there's, I don't know if it's articles of clothing or rose petals that are flying around her.
I think she punched some rocks because she punches the two sides, right? And now that's the debris floating in the air,
Yeah, someone was talking too loud in her space library.
Yeah.
Punch some rocks.
Oh, that's great.
I got my library glasses on.
All right, if any of you guys get this, I'll be impressed because I made a second slide as like a hint.
Okay.
This is one of the more ridiculous ones.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, well, I'll start with the audio listener while we try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So we got I would say a robot dragon looking kraken thing, kind of popping out of the sea. But he's washing up on shore. I'm seeing some sand, so he's kind of washing up on shore. We got the sky. It's just like a beach basically, and there's this big menacing. Well, he's kind of cute too. He's not really that menacing. But he's kind of cute. And so he's kind of popping out of the ground. So
I know it. It's a Tuma.
No, it's not. Okay. I know, that's a good guess. That's a really good guess. This is, like, it was a pretty popular archetype. Not so much now, but before.
Oh, so this is a deck?
Like last week, yeah. They're all deck this is a deck archetype, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go to the next one. I'll go to the next one as a hint.
Let's stay for a second. Try to figure this out. Okay, all right.
Okay.
We could do this. Right? Okay, so it's a deck archetype. I mean, there's only so many deck archetypes in the game, right? Like we can figure this out, right?
Or like it's a deck, it's like not like a whole archetype on its own. Like it's not like discard, but it's like
it's not a Thanos deck. It's not a discard deck. It's probably not a move deck. He's kind of moving, I guess, but not a bounce.
Hold on.
The next slide's a hint to this.
Yeah. Just give me like 10 seconds.
All right. Yeah.
All right, fuck it, I'm stuck.
All right. Let's go to the hint. We use our lifeline.
Yeah, I just included this because it was so ridiculous that the AI put this one up.
What? That's a hint?
So we've got a raven, a bird, and a little snake or like caterpillar type of thing at the bottom. Looks like what the bird like a raven. The raven's gonna eat the.
Yeah, it's a devil bird and a cute snake.
Yeah.
Would you say that bird is light or?
Oh, dark. It's a Darkhawk. Is it Darkhawk list?
Yeah.
Wait, the first thing is a Darkhawk?
That's why I included it. It's fucking hilarious. I had to. Darkhawk leech is a leech.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
So when I typed in Darkhawk leech, this thing came up.
Sure, I can see it now.
Oh, it's just so ridiculous. I'm like, there's no way.
We should have got Darkhawk at least.
We never got mechanical fish leech. Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So then this is like Darkhawk and a leech.
Yeah, the ocean threw me off. That was the problem. Oh, but it's probably because the leech, right? Because the leech, so it's in the ocean. That's what throws you off, right? Because I'm thinking, Darkhawk's not going to be swimming, right?
Yeah. I think I got only one more. No, two more. Okay, good. I saved my favorite one for last.
What? A deck?
Yeah.
Destroy?
What
Deadpool
kind of destroy? Deadpool destroy. That's
Wait,
it.
get out of here. That was like so obvious that I was confused for a second.
Yeah. Hey, the AI sometimes gets it right.
All right.
And then, the next one's my favorite one. And this is like one shot. The AI got it right away.
Thanos. Thanos blob.
Yeah. Look at that. It's so fat.
Dude, his face.
It's just like jelly. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That's gorgeous.
This is my favorite one. This is like one and done. I was like, Thanos. I typed in Thanos blob and this came up. I'm like, perfect. This is amazing.
Nice. NERFHERDER, you want to describe it for the audio listeners?
Sure.
Yes.
This is what looks like a pile of yellow melting ice cream with purple boba things sprinkled in it. And in the middle of that, it's a, how do I be sensitive about this?
Globular, robust.
Sure.
Rotund.
It looks like Thanos's, I can't.
He ate a little too many donuts.
I was gonna say something else. I'll tell you afterwards. But
he's a rotund individual.
You're saying he's small. You're saying like he's a small man, right?
Oh, let's put it this way. He looks like that weird little dude from Mad Max that flies around in the floating chair. I forget his name. Did you guys not see Mad Max Fury Road?
I did. I don't remember. I saw it in theaters.
Years ago.
Yeah. Anyways, he probably has a voice like.
Yeah. He almost looks like what's the guy from Star Wars? Zado or whatever.
What?
The little flying the newer Star Wars movies. The little flying guy that has like an elephant nose. I forget his fucking name.
Oh, the slave dude. The slave master on Tatooine.
His name like Zado or something. I don't remember his name.
Oh, sure, we'll go with Zato.
Sure.
I don't remember him in Star Wars Monopoly.
People can talk shit if they wanted to care. But yeah, that's all I got. That was fun. But yeah, I don't know. That's it, man. What else do you guys want to talk about? Anything else? That's kind of, we went through everything.
I got nothing. This is your show. You tell me what you want to talk about.
No big deal.
Do you have any series drops that you're picking up, Nerfherder, or are you collection complete? You already got all the cards.
No, I don't have Lady Deathstrike and Silver Samurai. I do want those, but I'm super stoked for Meek. I know you're a discard boy. If you want to talk about Meek for a second, but Meek's
I
gonna
think
be
he's gonna be awesome in MODOK, right? I think MODOK's gonna juice him up like crazy, right?
Yeah, Meek's gonna bring discard back. America Chavez nerf totally killed the deck, but I think Meek might be good enough to bring it back. So I'm stoked about that one.
Yeah.
What do you think about that 4/6 card that flies out of your hand once it gets discarded and goes to your lowest power lane?
If that's legit, that's super awesome too. That whole season looks awesome as shit.
Like, that looks good for discard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
February cards look insane. Yeah, the Glazer was on here last week talking about how they're all broken, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they all look ridiculous. Do you want me to pull all those up?
If you want.
Yeah,
Sure, let's do
why
it.
not? Well, the cards this season are interesting though. I do like the card design on this season anyway. While you're pulling up the February stuff.
Yeah.
I think SKAAR and CAIERA are like well designed and like I don't know, they don't seem too oppressive. What the beat ray? What's the beat ray bill or whatever? What's that
Beat
guy?
Ray.
Beta ray.
Beta Ray Bill. I love him.
He seems like he sucks, right? Like, am I wrong? Like,
No.
Beta Ray Bill?
I mean, he's a 4/10 basically, right?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's basically Thor that's
He
a
looks
4/5
pretty
instead of a 3/4.
But you have to draw the thing, though, don't you?
Yeah, but okay. So my justification for Beta Ray Bill is now there's Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Jane Foster, Odin. Those 4 cards are to me
Insane.
seem like it seems like the Hood, Sentry, and Nihilist package, where it's like now that's a package that you can put in a lot of different decks, and it's just going to be good.
Yeah, and he's gonna get up to 20 in that scenario, right? Because you're
Right, yeah.
You're
Well,
propping
he
it
gets
again.
20, Thor gets 16, and then you have Jane Fonda and
When
and
God,
Odin.
God forbid he pops out a lockjaw, right? And then it's a 440 at that point.
Exactly.
Right?
Since the Chavez change, making Lockjaw not that great because you don't draw him early anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can do basically a Jane Jaw list where it doesn't really matter if you don't draw a Lockjaw because now you have the little package I just described. So,
Yeah, you're playing 4 into beta on 4 instead.
right. And if you don't draw a Lockjaw, it's fine. But if you do, now you got super sick plays where you're throwing in these 0-cost cards, making your stuff huge. It's gonna be dope. I think.
Yeah. I'm pumped for that. I already said how much I love the high roll. Like, I'm so excited for that deck. It's gonna be insane.
All right, well, I'm happy. You got me pumped for Kingpin and that card now, which cards I was not pumped for. So I'm
Well, let's see if you can get us pumped for Meek. I'm not sold on Meek. I mean, I'm not a
I
discard
think
guy.
Meek's gonna be good, legit good. Yeah.
Why you don't think it's gonna be good, kid?
Maybe it'll be good, but I just don't think it'll make discard good.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know. I'm not sold on discard. Maybe because I'd never play it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If you don't
But,
like this card, I can see you not caring about this at all.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, it's a Series 4, so I'll probably just buy it, but...
It gets all the power, and then it moves once, right? So... That's
yeah,
how it
so...
works. Yeah.
Yeah, so every card... so every time you discard a card, it gains a power, and it only moves once per turn.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some weird stuff you could do. Like we were just talking about, Craven, Kingpin. I wonder if there's some weird stuff you could do with this Meek card because it's kind of like a 1-cost silk at that point, right?
It's a little weird.
Do you play him in like traditional MODOK? Because like if you're playing with MODOK, then he gets fucking huge then, right? Especially if you have swarms, not storms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's just like the old discard Apocalypse decks, but those decks always had like basically 2 flex slots where people would play Dawkin or Storm or Nebula or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Collector.
now you just put
all
Meek
that
in there.
shit. Wolverine sometimes. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he could be. Yeah. How high does he get? Like a 1/6?
I'd say
On
higher than
average,
that, higher
1/4
than that,
on
probably.
average.
Probably
Let's just say
1/8.
you're discarding 2 times plus a MODOK. That's going to be, I think on average, he's going to be like 5 minimum, 8 or 9s on the good side.
That's insane.
You got to think Swarm. If you Colleen Swarm, that's like an extra 2 that the Modok hits, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then the Colleen herself is 1, so it's like, you could get up to like Nerfher, 1.8, 1.9, and yeah, for that list already outputs a ton of power to begin with. So
I think the only downside here is it's not ongoing like Morbius. Morbius is good because you could draw him late, and he's still like a big play. And when you play him out, Meek is only going to be good if you play him on the first two turns of the game, probably.
yeah. If you don't want to get him by 3, you're kind of screwed because you have to like do like a Dracula or something like that on 4, right? So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, is he that much better? I guess, like, because you just play Nebula in these lists usually, right? So like Nebula can get up to a 4 or 6 pretty reliably in discard lists, right?
Depending on if your opponent wants to stop it or not. They
That's
can't
true,
stop
yeah.
Meek.
So I guess you gain that at the expense of not knowing where he's going to end up. But I guess if you're, then do you play Swarms early to try and like position him where you want to go?
I think you're keeping I don't think Nebula is the cut. I think it's like NERFHERDER said. You're cutting like your Collector, Wolverine, Dawkin. Like that's the card you cut for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like one of these like just cards that you're just in there to just get a little bit of power. Like, because Nebula, like even Nebula and Meek, like you're kind of cooking at that point, right? Like that's already tough to deal with you get those 2 cards on the board, like
Right.
and you haven't even done your main game plan yet. You got 2 kind of like really annoying 1 cost.
I think they put the move thing in here because if it didn't move, it would actually be too good because you don't know where it's going to end up. So the opponent could play accordingly. Like, well, I know Meek's there. I'm not going to bother with that anymore. Sort of like how Morbius is when you play Morbius in a lane. At least me, whenever I see that, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to fuck with that lane anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's going to get really big. So it moves around as like a downside, basically.
Yeah. No, yeah. If he didn't have the move, he would be OP. Like, that'd be ridiculous. Like, then you just put armor or something, or CAIERA, and then you're just like, all right, I have a 110 now. Right. I'm just going to keep him there. I'm not worried.
I think that's what makes discard really good, though, is like it's like Morbius in one lane, Dracula in another lane, and then the third lane or whatever is where your Modok and your Swarms go. It's when you have singular cards that the opponent has to respect and like kind of goes, well, I'm probably not going to win that lane. You have Morbius in one, Dracula in another, and now you have Meek. That makes it really difficult for the opponent to figure out where they can actually try to contest your power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't Shang-Chi everything,
Yeah.
And actually this and the other card that we'll talk about, this gives this card actually another advantage in that it's way less linear. So you don't know how much power they're outputting. Whereas before it was like the most, I could just count if I can beat them and reliably be like, well, back in the Chavez days, now even almost more so, if they're the Modok discard. Which I never see anymore because Chavez killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
the
you
only
can just
variability
count.
you had was, like, where am I putting my Swarms? And am I playing out the Apocalypse or play out the Chavez? That's really the only trickiness you had. A little bit of power swing, but yeah, nothing crazy. But yeah, the Meek is like a total wild card in this deck.
Yeah. And it gives you the option to turn 6 Modok, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, especially without Chavez now anyway, like it's just more on the table anyway, right? You're not just drawing Chavez every time.
Right.
Where's the other one? This, Proxima Midnight.
This card seems sick.
Yeah.
She's got to go in the decks, right? Like, she's got to go in these discard decks. She's going to be insane. A 4/6, when this is discarded, jump to your lowest power location. That isn't full. Yeah, so it's like wild, right?
Yeah. I mean, people play Wolverine and it's 4 power.
Yeah. Take out Wolverine. You cutting Wolverine, your deck's just going up by 2 power, basically.
Yeah.
Like, is this just not an insane, like, if you have Dracula down and Modok on 6 with Apocalypse in your hand?
Yeah, I think this card's bonkers.
Yeah, like it's a 14 with Modok? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think, I guess then if you have a Meek on the board too, then you're like, it's like a 110.
Yeah, after this card comes out, I think this card is like where it's the perfect 12 now, basically.
Yeah, almost like where it's almost as tight as Destroy almost is now, right? Where you have like such nice lists. Yeah. This card might make me a discard person. I'll play some discard.
For sure.
Yeah, the Modok discard list is kind of like that, right? Like it's just the obvious cards that you got to play, and that's it.
Yeah.
You just play them. But it's a fun deck. It's a fun deck. It's awesome. You know, it does the job.
It's hard to stop the power too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This card looks good. Corvus Glaive next month, 3/4. On reveal, discard 2 cards from your hand to get +1 max energy.
Right. You'd usually use Hellcow as a backup Modok if you don't draw Modok. Now you just do Corvus Glaive instead of the Hellcow.
Yeah, and get ramp.
Right.
Modok on 4.
Go, dude. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Nerfherder, do you think that the Corvus is gonna fit in Hella, or is it too risky?
It depends on the kind of Hello you play. Are you doing Invisible Woman stuff, or are you doing
never
Lockjaw stuff? Yeah, okay, same. I don't like the Invisible
Woman
versions. But actually, no. Now that you make me thinking about it, no, I don't think you play this in Hella, because if you have Hella in your hand, you never want to play this.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the ramp is like interesting in Hella, right? You play this on 4, and then you actually just drop one of your big boys, right? So,
yeah, maybe you can come up with some deck where
3, there's gonna be some 5s you can play. So yeah,
right, yeah, maybe you can come up with some deck where if like you don't, if you discard Hella, it's not a big deal. You can still use the ramp good. Sort of like how the Black Knight Lockjaw Hella decks are right now. If they discard Hella, they could still win easily. So maybe that.
I wonder even if just this will be good in some of the Black Knight lists, like just to get some ramp if you got nothing else to do.
I guess it's not targeted discard. That's the only issue with it, right?
Yeah. It's definitely a casino. But those decks play Ghost Rider, so at least there's kind of a backup plan, right?
Yeah, for sure.
If you have Black Knight down, like I don't know, it is a casino card, but is the max energy
some SKAAR type of list? Yeah, like
this card seems good, but I think it's going to be a little too random to be like, oh, you have to play this.
That's what I'm worried about. Is the payoff as good as the risk? Who knows?
I'm more excited about this guy than I am about Meek, but just like you said though, Meek's probably just a better card objectively, but just the way I like to play Marvel Snap, I like these kind of cards make me fired up.
Sure, I can see that.
And then there's this card, which is some would say pretty good, 4/10.
Some would say objectively the best 4-drop in the game now.
Yeah.
4/10 that can't be destroyed.
Yeah.
If they print it the way it is.
This makes 0 sense, yeah.
This makes SKAAR look shitty. They're already power creeping SKAAR, and he's not even out. Well, you can only play him with an Infinity Stone, sorry.
Oh, no.
I know.
This is the next Miss Marvel. It's just way too many stats for what he does. I mean, this has got to go to like a 4/8 or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but February's fucking dope, kid. This is like our season, man. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I thought you were the discard dude too. But
no, no. It's no big deal. It's gonna be great. He's gonna love this.
More discard, yeah. Kid loves Thanos though.
Like Crossbones is a 4/8. What the fuck are we doing? This is a 4/10 that can't be destroyed. It's ridiculous.
Anytime anyone wants to talk about this card, just go Crossbones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if I get a Jessica Jones, like that's like a conditional 4/9, right? Like, can't play there. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it makes no sense.
And then there's this card, Super Giant, 1/2 on reveal. All cards played this turn and next turn don't reveal until the game ends. So, Glazer told us about a pretty wild combo with this. I think it was with this card. Oh no, maybe it wasn't this one. Maybe it was Grandmaster.
You play it with Goliath, right?
Yeah, you play this, and then like I think on 3 or 4, I forget. Well, anyways, you play this, and then you wave on 5, and then you Goliath Grandmaster, and then you just Goliath 2 lanes basically. And everything that's turned down gets destroyed by Goliath, right?
It's disgusting. It seems like a little Christmas landy, but pretty gross.
Yeah, that's just that. Even just wave Goliath Grandmaster is pretty gross.
Sure. I don't think Grandmaster is going to be that great, to be honest.
I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about that guy then.
Sure. Sorry, I'm not trying to be like, hey, let's keep talking, but
no, I'm happy to talk about these, man. It's great to get your opinion. I have nothing to do. This is awesome. I just feel bad. I don't want to waste your time. I feel like,
no, we're good, man.
Okay. All right, let's just okay. So Hercules, we kind of already talked. We talked shit about Hercules already.
Yeah,
he's coming next Tuesday or.
We're
soon.
trying to make it work, kid. You're trying. You came up with some, some creative ideas to try to figure it out.
Yeah, you can take that bullet for us. Get Hercules.
I will.
Let us know.
Hercules is gonna be sick. It's a good way to lose 6,000 tokens. Grandmaster. A 2/0 on reveal, move one of your other on reveal cards here to the middle location. Its ability happens again. I don't know. This is one of those cards that can just be absolutely fucking cracked, or it's just going to be garbage.
So, would you play Absorbing Man if it was a 2/0?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, then you'll like Grandmaster. I don't think so.
The location stuff is a little tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because think about Absorbing Man, you could play like this and Absorbing Man and Wong, and you play everything in the same lane, and that's busted, right? Like that, I don't know, that sounds insane to me. Or you could play Absorbing Man anywhere. So yeah, but the fact that you have to play it on the left or right only, and then it moves to the middle.
Right.
That seems actually restrictive, not unlike Miss Marvel, right? But like this seems like legit like restrictive. Yeah, they stack middle. They know your cards are going middle. You're playing some Grandmaster stuff. That's easy for your opponent to play around. So, like, what do you do? Do you put the Wong in the middle, and they put a Cosmo there, and this does nothing? Like, I don't know.
So I don't think you do Wong. I think this is like Ravonna, White Tiger stuff.
Which is always horrible.
Yeah.
Like I feel for those Wong players, but like those are never good. Let's put it this way: the bots are using White Tiger. Anyone that's climbing the ladder right now, you see White Tiger, it's a bot. Snap.
Could be good in Mr. Negative, maybe. Yeah. Oh, it's a 2-0, Mr. Negative, right?
For sure, Mr. Negative, totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
White Tiger's in there too, right?
Yeah, but then it's just a Mr. Negative deck, which is not good, right? It's just all hot,
But here's a good argument: is the Mr. Negative decks. The reason they're not good is because if you don't play Mr. Negative, you're playing a shit deck with shit stats.
Yeah.
But with Grandmaster, now you can play basically a Ravonna deck that just so happens to maybe high roll as a Mr. Negative deck. Mm-hmm. So like if you don't negative on 4, it's cool because you're doing discounted Ravonna stuff with like White Tiger, Grandmaster Wong, whatever.
Yeah. Getting the Ravonna being an alternate win condition is very interesting. Like Havoc,
right.
You throw like a Havoc in there, stuff like that. Kind of reliable, one cost card with a Ravonna, right?
Yeah, instead of just auto-retreating because you didn't play negative on 3 or 4, now you have an actual decent chance of winning the game with, like you said, Havoc and Grandmaster.
Yeah, if you have Ravonna down, I mean, you can, and you already played White Tiger on 5, then on turn 6, you can Iron Man and then Grandmaster the White Tiger.
Right, yeah.
This will be a 1 cost. So you can double up one of your lanes and then re-trigger the White Tiger again.
Yeah.
So, that's like just as off the top of my head.
And a Havoc. You throw a Havoc in there too.
For sure, yeah.
On turn 6. 4-1-1.
Yeah, I'm saying. I always like thinking about like the not worst case scenario, but like when new cards come out, a lot of content creators always do this thing where they're like, oh, you do, like you said, you do Grandmaster with Super Giant or whatever, and then you play Eliath, and then you play Grandmaster, and it's like, dude, fucking come on, how often is that going to happen?
Never.
It's never going to happen. Realistically, basically, where are these cards going to go? And I feel like on a game-to-game basis, this card's going to be mediocre or give Mr. Negative decks an okay shot at winning.
Yeah, I haven't put too much thought into like what on reveal I would really want to trigger twice.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those cards where you look at it and you're like, how could they fucking print this card? But then you play Panther. With it and you're like,
Yeah, it might be like one of that. I mean, Black Panther. You're gonna then you have to play Black Panther on 5, and who the hell does that?
Well, when you're playing Grandmaster, right? That's
Wait, so you would make Black Panther a 5/8, and then you would Grandmaster, and it would be a 5/16?
Yes, a surprise 16 bomb to the mid lane.
Oh.
and then they 670 blob.
Wait, what if you got a Wong in the mid lane though?
Then it's a 32, and the blob's still 70 power.
Sorry, he'll get nerfed by the time this card comes up.
How do you nerf blob? You can't.
Half, you do half.
I don't know.
Yeah, you just say he gets half the power?
Half the power, yeah. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they have to do that at some point.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? That's funny.
I think he'd be fine. He'd be fine if he got half the power. He'd just be a normal big boy.
What do you think, Nerfer? Let's get your opinion, because I don't think we did this last week, and some people actually like this when we go over the spotlight caches.
It's our most requested thing in our comments, NERFHERDER, is what do I spend my tokens on, basically, people are asking.
Yeah. I mean, that depends on the kind of player you are.
Yeah, I guess, so next week it's going to be Hercules, Werewolf by Night, and Howard the Duck. I would say this is personally, this seems like, okay, from a value standpoint, they're all Series 5 cards. So that's a good value, but these cards are all, I wouldn't waste your spotlight keys on these personally at all.
Howard's coming down. So
oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Look at Howard as a 4.
So it's even worse value then. So it's even worse than even worse than what I'm saying.
This is a skip.
I would say skip and save your resources, because Werewolf got pretty nuked. I mean, like, I think the people that are saying like he's still great, it's just they're coping. You know, he's not. He's all right, I guess, but like, he's someone that you can skip now. When he was a 3/3, you know, he's like, you need this card, probably one of the best cards in the game, right? Yeah. Now he's not that. Now it's like you don't need him.
What about current season, CAIERA? We didn't talk about that either.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is a great week, I think.
For sure.
CAIERA is a great card. High Evil's, I always say, is one of the best, probably the best 6,000 tokens you could spend in the game.
Right.
One of the best cards, because, you know, especially for new players, if you don't have any cards, this just gives you 7 new cards.
Yeah.
So and the decks are always competitive, especially now. Now High Evil's making a comeback, so it's like, it's great. And Nebula is just like always one of the best 1-drops in the game. Just a good card, always a good card.
Yeah, you never know what to put in a deck. Just put Nebula in there. It's probably
yeah. So this is a week where I would say, yeah, definitely. If you don't have these cards, you definitely roll your spotlight caches for them, because they're good cards. Yeah, I mean, I even argue CAIERA might even be the worst one. Or Nebula, like, you know, like,
yeah.
No, but I mean, they're all good. They're all good. Yeah. But they're all good. Yeah, I would even, like, if you had none of these cards, I would try and get them all, because they're all like, you know, play them all the time. And I wouldn't. Yeah, High Evil is one of the only cards I would spend 6,000 tokens on. The other ones I wouldn't spend 6,000 tokens on.
For sure.
Okay. And, so the next week Skip, and then January 16th Meek, Annihilus, and Phoenix Force.
Ooh. And we know the nerf is coming on Annihilus now.
Yeah, this is one of those where it's like, is the nerf going to be too bad? Also, this is, do you like discard? Do you like junk? If the answer is yes to either of those, sure, it's probably worth it, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see how Annihilus with the nerf shakes out. Phoenix Force is, let's just say, niche.
Yeah, less.
I mean, it once in a while, like when Loki was really good, it was a good deck, you know, because like Loki couldn't do shit when they copied your stuff. So it was okay. No, I was doing okay with it for a little bit, but
I maybe I suck at the deck, but
no,
I was listening to a podcast with Safety Blade was on it, and he was like, "Oh, it's the best deck in the game," and I was like, "Dude, the fuck is he smoking?" Like, I mean, I respect him; he's a great player, but fucking deck is trash.
Yeah, no, I had some success with it once Loki was really big, because like it just shits on the Loki players, but if you're not playing specifically against Loki, then you have to high roll or you're done.
Yeah.
And then that's it. If you don't get multiple men by like 2 or 3 and then, you know, something to destroy it, it's over.
Yeah.
So it just, you know, fails.
It's one of those decks where you play against it and it absolutely claps your cheeks and you're like, what the hell? And then you try it and you lose like 8 games in a row.
Yeah, retreat.
Like, what is happening? Yeah.
I know. I will say I played it a little bit when after they buffed it or like changed the Phoenix Force bug with multiple man. Mm-hmm. It was so fun moving like 8 multiple mans around.
Sure, yeah.
It was so good. Like when it first came out, people didn't know like what was going on, so they would stay in like 8 cube games thinking they're gonna win, and like all the multiple men would move, and it's like 32 in each lane. They're like, "What the fuck?" They'd always have like the Deadpool emoji, like, "What the fuck?" So it was great. Annihilus is. I love Annihilus. It's a good card. We'll see what happens with the nerf. Meek seems to be a good card for discard specifically, and it's a Series 4 card. So like,
I was just gonna point that out. So Meek. So this one is an interesting where you could maybe skip, and then if you love MODOK discard specifically, you could just spend the 3K on Meek and just save your keys for the next week. You know.
Yeah, that's what I do. And most people, I think, have Annihilus at this point too, plus the nerf. Yeah, I think you're right. 3K. spend it, be happy.
That's what I'm gonna do. Is just meek for 3K, and then if you don't have 3K, then you can save for it's gonna be in the shop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it'll drop down to Series 3 sometime in 2025. We talked about the Grandmaster, Loki, and Hitmonkey. This is January 23rd. Yeah, Grandmaster is such a question mark. This is a card where we talked about it, but let content creators buy it and then see what they do, and then make your decision after a week.
Yeah,
because it's just such a question mark. It's a card that's could be good, could be bad. I mean, like we said. So this is one I wouldn't just buy right away. Loki, I don't know how good he's going to be after the nerf. We'll see. And then Hitmonkey is not a card I would buy for a Series 5 card.
No.
So is he finally coming down? Was he part of the drops to 4?
I feel like he should be.
I don't remember.
I know he was our meme, big bad. For the longest time, we were always memeing oh yeah, Monkey's still a big bad, But I think they might be dropping him.
I think he is coming to Series 4. I think Jeff is still a big bad.
Jeff's the big bad for sure, yeah. But yeah, I think Nebula is still a big bad, but yeah. I think they are dropping Monkey. I'm gonna be copping this for sure. I don't know. To me, Grandmaster, like you said, it could be terrible. Absorbing Man was pretty bad card for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And even now that they came back with the Brood a little bit, and then they nerfed it, and it's still, even now, Absorbing Man is not a very good card, right?
Nah, not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just Absorbing Man. For 2
I feel
costs,
like it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this is just keep Absorbing Man, which is okay, I guess.
That sounds really fun to me. Half the cards in the game are on reveal, So you play a Loki in one lane, right? Oh no, it doesn't work with Collector anymore. Can't. Never mind. we can't Grandmaster. Top deck Grandmaster.
I will. I'll probably get this for the beams, and maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't. But I think it'll be fun to dick around with. We'll see what my key situation is like.
Yeah, for the.
But I would not roll for Hitmonkey, and we need to see what Loki looks like in a month before you even make a decision there.
Yeah.
And then the last one of the month, Beta Ray Bill, Galactus, and Elsa.
That's
Galactus,
a weird week, man.
It's a very weird week. I don't know what they're cooking second dinner. They think these cards are going to work. Usually they're pretty good at cards working together.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Galactus is always going to be worth it. He's a big bad. I mean, it's as far as the value, 6,000 tokens. He's never dropping. He's not the best card in the world. Very niche. Elsa is kind of shit right now.
Yeah.
And Beta Ray Bill, I think, will be cool. I don't know how good he'll be, but I think he'll be pretty cool, especially with what you said with Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Jane, and Odin. Just putting those cards in. You just put them in any deck, really.
Yeah.
Just have a nice combo.
It's definitely a weird week because Beta Ray Bill, I feel like, is sort of with the Grandmaster deal. It's could be really good, could be bad. I feel like Beta Ray Bill is probably going to be better than Grandmaster. But yeah, regardless, Galactus and Elsa are you don't need those cards at all to be competitive in the game.
No, you don't.
So, and the fact that Beta Ray Bill is Series 5 is a weird week.
Yeah, this is a weird week, and you could probably skip this week and be fine. I don't see Beta Ray Bill breaking the meta and being a card I need to have this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely not one of those. It's not going to change the meta at all. It might make SKAAR better though. I think Lockjaw with the Thor family. And, SKAAR is going to be a solid
goes up
deck.
to 10 at they both discount. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
On their first proc, they both go to 10 power discount SKAAR.
Yeah, man.
What do you think Beta Ray Bill compared to Thor? To me, he feels like a worse Thor, but with more high roll potential.
He doubles though, yeah.
Yeah, but he has more high roll potential. But how often are you going to double him?
Not often.
He's probably slightly worse than Thor, but the fact that you could run both in the same deck and the hammer costs 0, right? So you play Jane pulls both instead of just a wasp and a hammer or a hammer, right? So the fact that you're pulling 2 hammers with Beta Ray Bill makes Jane Foster way better.
That's the big thing.
Way better. Even though the Thor on his own is a little bit better on his own, right? But the Jane is disgusting now. It's not quite Mr. Negative level Jane, but it's still pretty disgusting. What you pulling out 2 hammers, right?
Yeah, it's not Beta making. It's not Beta being good. It's the fact that it makes Jane good. Yeah, well put.
Do you put Hitmonkey in this deck too? If you don't draw the Odin, you just
I
play
think
a
that's
bunch
a whole
of hammers.
nother deck. That's a whole nother style of deck.
So you can play a bunch of hammers on the last turn and just like,
Yeah,
Monkey becomes huge.
Aren't people doing that? They did that maybe like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
Where
Yellow
like,
Jacket. Yeah.
Those are great. Play the Hit Monkey and Grandmaster. Double it up, baby.
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah. So because you were saying earlier that the Galactus and Elsa, they don't really go together. So I didn't want to like derail you, but yeah, they did put Hit Monkey and Grandmaster in the same week, right? So
sure.
I think they're thinking something, right?
They're cooking.
We're missing one thing. The hammer for Beta Ray Bill's 1 power.
Oh, it's
fucking
one?
huge, dude.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's a 0-1.
I did not know that. Oh,
Does Gene pull it out
huge.
then?
Yeah, it's a 0.
There it is.
Oh, it's one. Okay, it's 1 power on his own.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That actually matters quite a bit. I mean, it's a wasp then, right? So that's pretty sick.
Pretty much.
Actually, that's really good. I actually didn't realize
that's a
that.
big deal, yeah.
Wow. Seems insignificant,
Okay,
but playing a Mjolnir down is like big sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, the one is pretty big. It's not that insignificant.
People stop playing cards because of 1 power nerfs, so.
Yeah, I mean, like this, I think is significant. Shuri going from a 4-2 to a 4-1, I think is bullshit. Insignificant. But this, I think, just putting an extra power wherever you want it, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's a
It's
wasp.
nice.
The wasp is legit. Like it can.
I like it.
It costs 0.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's
dude,
just like
High
a
Evo, Beta Ray Bill, Jane family sort of lockjaw list.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. He's a space horse too, so
That's the weirdest
You know?
Yeah,
character.
the
ever,
art's
dude.
really sick. Yeah.
So weirdest character.
he's a weird. Gladiator is a funny character. When I actually found about his lore, I don't know that much about the comics, but
Yeah.
his power is as much as his ego is.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's why he
so
doesn't kill cards bigger than him. Because he's scared,
Yeah.
basically.
like basically he could be stronger than Superman if he wanted to be. Like if he believed in himself and it's like, oh, I can take this guy on. Like that's his power. It's like he's as strong as he wants.
Yeah.
As strong as he feels that he is. And if he feels like weak and timid, then he'll just he can lose to the Wasp or whatever.
Yeah.
Just a sucker with no self-esteem.
There you go. Is that the offspring, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it, man. I don't know what else to cover here. That's
No, we're
great.
That was good fun.
Hey,
Strong
man,
fun.
thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me, dude. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Hey, anytime you want to come back, let us know. Invitation's open,
I was gonna say I don't mean to intrude, but I don't have a podcast or anything outside my own channel now, so I will literally come back anytime you want. So
Nice. No,
Yeah,
no. Honestly, no intrusion. We're happy to have guests. It's fun. I mean, I didn't think I'd get sick of my brother so soon. So I'm happy we've been having guests on.
Yeah, we're
I'm
30
like,
plus.
oh.
We're 30 plus now. It's getting rough.
I'm cool, dude. How old do you think I am? I just want to ask.
No, I'm saying we're 30 plus episodes in.
Oh,
but now that we're getting the
I
age-
thought you were 30 years old.
No, I am. I'm 33 this year.
Shit. Which
Yeah.
one of you is older, kid?
Me.
He is older, yeah.
I'm 30. Oh, man, I'll be 37 this year.
Yeah.
Shit.
I was
Hey,
born
you
in
look good.
87. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's the glasses.
No, I'm 39.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say you're probably around my age. I would have
Yeah.
guessed 36, 37, probably.
Getting old, fellas.
I know.
But yeah, sorry, I derailed there for a second. But,
All good. All good.
I'm happy to be a third Snap Bro, dude. Hit me
Yeah,
up
dude.
anytime.
Yeah. We'll have to
Anytime
recurring.
you want to come, we'll let you know for sure.
Cool.
And you let us know if you're like, hey man, I want to come on this week. Fuck it, come on.
Sweet, dude.
It's great. All right, no big deal. What do you got to say to the people?
Hey man, just shout out to NERFHERDER, man. NERFHERDER, you're the man. Also, GG's the ninja, man. You know what? He made some cool tech choices. I wasn't ready for the Mobius Echo. GG's to him. You know, he out deck built me for sure. So yeah, not much I can do. You know.
Nah, fuck that dude.
Fuck him.
No, I'm just kidding. Ninja was an old fan of my channel too, dude. Ninja's cool.
Ninja's great. 1-4 Martyr still sucks. I'll say that, and I'll leave the people with that.
Yeah. I still agree with that. Yeah.
All right. Peace.
Laters.